Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh boy, I wish I was deaf like Echo. So I didn't have to suffer one of my senses through this show.
At least it was a good drinking game.
Yes.
Because this show had nothing else going for it.
No.
I don't think I've ever been so bored, which is a weird thing to say. Like, I fucking ragged on Loki, on Ahsoka, but this is worse, but also somehow less offensive because I don't care about her at all, and the show didn't even try to make me care about her. The other two shows, like, assassinated a character I liked. Like, that sucked. I didn't enjoy that. But this was just such a passive, boring experience.
It was weird. It kind of felt like one big filler.
Well, it only goes for 3.5 hours tops with credits.
But it's like, it's not like when you watch like a filler episode of an anime where it's about like the second main character. It was just like, hey, this is also happening in the world. It's like, hey, I don't care.
This takes place just after the Hawkeye show, like 5 months. And they spend half the first episode talking, like showing you what happened in Hawkeye and like a little bit of Maya's backstory. Not a spoiler, because her mum dies in the first 3 minutes.
Correct.
Making Echo a Disney princess.
Correct.
That's what she has in
The
common.
Disney formula works. Dead parents.
Why change it? Why change it? They bothered to show like that stuff, but we literally spent half an hour of the first 50-minute episode just catching up on Hawkeye. I guess they thought no one watched Hawkeye.
Correct.
It's true. You didn't watch Hawkeye.
It is true. I didn't.
You
I was
did
like,
not watch
I'm like,
Hawkeye.
is there anything I should have watched before this? And you're like, no. And then
I was
the
like,
shot
oh,
with
she was in
Ronan
Hawkeye.
killing like her gang, and I'm like, what's happening here? And you're like, oh, that's it's a scene from Hawkeye.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, oh, cool, yeah. And then but I have seen like clips from like the end.
She's in like one episode. Oh
Yeah.
no, sorry. She's at like the beginning to like set the show up, and then she's like in halfway through, and then just fucks off completely. And it's just
I mean,
it didn't matter.
the show? No.
That also didn't matter. This is the spoiler-free review.
This is the spoiler-free one. So
we're gonna be a bit
if
vague.
you haven't watched it yet and you want an opinion on whether to watch it,
But drinking rules.
if you are going to watch this show, you definitely need to add something to it to spice it up a little. So we added a little bit of unhealthy adult alcoholism.
Added a little bit of not sponsored Lematang. Okay, drinking rules. Drink when there's no sound. Because we got a deaf character in this show. And just in case you forget, because it almost never comes up apart from the fact that everyone's doing sign language, the show basically forgets that she has sign language to the point where they delete it later, but that's not a spoiler. For a bit there, she can hear. Kind of. But it's as if a bomb goes off. You know the scene. It's Oppenheimer. It's every time. It's not a high-pitched whine.
It's not.
I will forgive. They didn't give us tinnitus, but there's just no sound except like a heartbeat
Yeah.
and like maybe a little bit of bass line from a song. And it's just like, oh yeah, she's deaf. Sorry, I better drink. Like so rare, so dumb.
But like, I feel like they're like, oh, can we just we need to spice this scene up a little bit. Take the volume out.
There was only 2 directors
What
as
does that
well,
do?
so it really was like their choice. They were like, yes, no volume. It wasn't like an episode-to-episode thing like some things, but
But I don't know. And I said at the start, before we like press play on the show, it was like, any guesses of what the show is going to do, what it's going to be about, what it's going to be like. And I was like, I feel like they're going to do like a big mute section like in A Quiet Place.
yep.
And I was right a little bit because every episode has a freaking silent section or 2.
It almost was, yeah. It was kind of like one per episode.
She's evening the playing field.
Another rule, drink when men are pigs. 'cause
Doesn't happen as often as I hoped it would.
but it does happen in the first 2 minutes.
Correct.
That's when we made the rule. We're making the rules as we go along because like you can kind of pick up tropes that they're going to use.
I'm thinking that it was originally going to be a way bigger thing than it was, especially
Apparently
because
this
they
got
put
cut
it.
to shit.
Yes, especially because they put it very, very early into when we see adult Echo. So
And at the skate rink. The first 2 introductions of her to a new space, the man like looks her in the eyes and like looks her up and down, and the first guy like gropes her, and it's like, God damn it. She kicks his ass, it's fine, girl power. But like,
but I think
why
that
you gotta do that?
I think that originally there was going to be a lot more of that in this show.
Yeah, it did feel like they were gonna play that old trope, and maybe they deleted it. Like maybe it really was like they realized like we're doing it too often. Like
Yeah.
oh, every episode really. So we kind of evolved it to every time a certain character called Biscuits is a fucking idiot.
Biscuit, no.
It really does cut to Biscuit. Biscuit does stupid thing. Cut away from Biscuit. Biscuit's a fucking idiot.
Cute dog though.
Who is Biscuit?
He's family.
There's a
Biscuit
Biscuits is a character they introduce, and he's the dummy. He's the friend that just helps for no reason.
Yeah.
But he isn't the actual friend. That's the cousin, because that's the emotional core almost, is like the family aspect. So this guy's just like helpful. He just is. And then the dumb granddad's also just helpful.
Yeah.
And a scientist. But we don't know who he's related to. Everyone calls him cousin. And it could be just one of those like
Cultural things?
Yeah, like, Korean aunties, everyone's an auntie. Like, it could be one of those, but it feels like he's family. Like I think he even calls
and he's
them
at
family.
the the family barbecue.
Yes, at
So
the
it's
end,
like biscuit.
and it's like, who are you?
Maybe in season 2 we'll find out a bit more.
Apparently, they barely did one of those season 1, so we're not getting a season 2.
God, I don't even know why. Like, I understand why they had to do Loki, but I don't understand why they had to do Echo. Like, they were like, pump out the meat grinder, boys.
It's
Echo's back on the menu, boys.
next drinking game rule: drink every time there's a bad cut in a one-shot fight scene.
Oh my God.
They think they're Daredevil.
In any scene, it's not just the fight scenes. It happens a lot in the fight scenes, and I don't know if it's just because like
In the fight scenes,
I
I,
don't
think
know.
it's stylistically bad because they're just bad filmmakers.
Especially 'cause-
Which feels like I'm a shit filmmaker. It feels like a dick move for me to say. But these guys, she'll just be talking and it'll just cut to like Kingpin walking home, or like Maya's in the middle of a conversation and then they'll just cut to an outside shot, cut to another exterior, cut to the lake. It's the next morning and Maya's looking over the lake and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And it's not even like, oh, the passage of time. It's literally just like abrupt and stupid.
And even just like, and even in the fight scenes, and it's everywhere on the internet, it's not a spoiler, there's some Daredevil in this show. So everyone's thinking Daredevil as the most like adjacent kind of show.
Don't watch this for Daredevil.
No.
Yes.
No, I don't know who lied. It was IGN
I think
or
IGN
somebody.
lied. Yeah.
Don't believe what you saw on the internet.
Sorry,
Either way,
continue.
so everyone's like thinking that, oh, maybe we're going to see some really cool Daredevil-esque fight scenes in this. They probably learnt from that.
Hallway, the raid, yeah.
Whatever. So you're thinking, oh, cool, we're going to get some cool shots. No, it'll be literally like, you know, it's kind of a panning shot, kick a guy in the stomach, and then cut to her throwing him against the wall. But it just cuts like one step of motion out of it. It like, just fucking play her taking a step towards him and leading it in. Just do the take again if you couldn't get it.
There's one really egregious one where they try to make a match cut behind a pole, like you pan behind the pole.
Mm-hmm.
It goes dark for a second and it's like, oh, it's seamless. No, she's like mid-kick and then she's suddenly just standing normally and it's so abrupt and it's like, the people editing this are editors. They know what they're doing. They're not fucking idiots. So this is the best that they could do with what they were given. Like, I believe that they were like, I can't release this. And they're like, no, it's fine. And they're like, please don't put my name on this.
Yeah.
It's that bad. It's hurtful.
Even
to
the
watch.
fight scenes, like,
It's only good because brutal moments. I use the Invincible analogy while we're watching it. In Invincible, the animation's pretty shitty because they didn't have the budget. It looks like they animated on like 7s half the time. Like, it's so goddamn choppy, but it's brutal. And that's why the boys and Gen V stand out because like, you're not used to seeing a cartoon covered in blood.
yeah.
Whereas this, the good bits are when Marvel actually goes back to Daredevil roots. Every now and then there's blood and you're like, oh, like that was a cool shot. But it's one shot per episode max.
Yeah. There's maybe like one fight every other episode. Maybe like
might be every
episodes
two.
1, 3, and 5 have a
think
fight
you're right.
scene. And these aren't spoilers, but the last fight scene just feels so quick and rushed. That fight scene at the very end.
Oh, I forgot that was a fight scene.
It was so quick.
I thought there was 6 episodes. That's how lackluster it
The
was.
first one is like, whoa, this is setting a tone. Okay.
In 3
It
minutes.
happens very soon. It's good. They try and do like a one take, which is like, okay, I admire that. Then,
They did their best. It's got some shit, but they tried.
Yeah. And then the next fight scene, 2 episodes later, is a bit worse. And then the one 2 episodes after that is bad. And so it's like, oh, so you're not going to be doing like cool, gritty fight scene one take stuff, which you could have. And also, arm and guillotines don't work like that, especially when you're just holding someone like that.
I have no idea if I can find that shot, maybe.
You
I'll try.
can't just break someone's neck, especially when you're just holding them in an arm and guillotine. And I understand she has
pop it
superpowers,
out.
but she doesn't have them yet. I mean, not really.
Spoiler!
It was his henchman. She just breaks a guy's neck with an arm and guillotine. And I'm just like, I guess, whatever. Not how it works. I've been
Fine.
arm and guillotined many a time and have never felt that threatened.
It's a sex thing.
It's not that scary.
Next drinking rule. This one's probably the most egregious. It's the drink every time there's a flashback.
Oh, and boy, does it flashback a lot.
You see, we got to talk about the ancestors.
Ah.
This is a show about family.
It's about the echoes of the past.
It's about family.
Family.
Family echoes. Boom.
Oh my god.
Got him.
So the echoes that the name kind of talks about is the echoes of I almost called her Echo. The echoes of Maya's
She is
past. I know she's
The echo
Echo,
of
but
Echo's
it's not
past.
like she's like,
Yeah.
I am Echo.
She's Echo in
She can't
episode
talk.
5, maybe.
Maya's whole thing that they try to create for her is like she's connected to these strong women of her past, the echoes of her past, of her culture, of, you know, powerful women. So she kind of has like all for one, I think that's what it's called in My Hero Academia, where she essentially inherits the superpower of all the Native American superhero women before her, kind of. They all have the powers, I think.
I think it's a cool idea, but it honestly comes up so few and far between that it feels like they did add it later in editing with just flashbacks because they wanted to explain how this lady is beating the shit out of so many people. They're like, this is unreasonable. What if we flash back to a sharpshooter when she needs to shoot a gun?
Yeah.
That's right. She learned sharpshooting from ancestors.
Lucy May Lightfoot. What if she learned how to be a strategic genius from two-stick ball?
That one was very confusing because I even said during the episode, I'm like, wait, what did she get from that ancestor?
Yeah. I'm
what power
like,
was
is that the super strength one? But no, the first one was super strength.
Yeah, the other one was just strategy.
And then the second one, which was kind of the first one, was just like leadership and cunning.
it did say it was cunning and no, cunning was sharpshooting. Anyway,
so
she gets very vague superpowers that allow her to do the plot, which is why I mean by like doing it in post, honestly.
Look, it was really easy to binge. Not that I enjoyed it, but
Only
it
'cause
was
short.
It was so short, 3 hours.
It should have been a movie. Which
We
makes
drank.
Did they cut the shit out of it? Because
Yeah.
how is it 3 hours? Why would you release a show that's 3 hours?
Yeah, I don't see how. Where's their return come from? Because I can see people rewatching Loki. I can see people rewatching Daredevil
I mean,
and
if Echo
different
comes
stuff,
back, maybe. Yeah.
but it's like I don't see people being like, oh, I'm gonna go back and rewatch Echo this
I think that's
summer.
why they dumped it. I had heard that they didn't want to make this. They were just like, get this thing out of here. Put that thing back where it came from. Also, help me.
Whose idea was this? Was this you, Feige?
This might have been one of them diversity hires.
Uh oh.
A
A minority with a disability. Anyway,
That might not make the review. I don't know.
pick up some
success.
limo tangs, get some snackies, and then like after every episode, just go walk around your house and stare out a window for 5 minutes, and then come back, and you'll finish it after 3.5 hours, and you'll be like,
Yeah,
that
during
was a
the
thing."
during the credits, stare out a window.
And don't watch the intro. My God, the intro is bad. They
Oh,
want to be.
the opening credits.
It's like,
Yes.
what, are you trying to be like Skyfall /
It felt so Bond. You were right.
I'm just like, is this James Bond / what else did I say? It was like,
If I had the rights to Adele, I'd play both.
this
alongside.
is the end. You know?
God. We'll record a take
I might
after.
get copyright strike for that performance. But I'm like, what is this intro? It feels like bad Westworld James Bond.
I think it feels more pretentious. It wants to be more than it is.
They should have just done what frickin' Loki did. Just frickin' flash the letters and just have different sign letters
Oh yeah.
of the alphabet and have it just be like Echo. I don't care if it's copying Loki. It's your thing that people love. People
Yeah.
will froth for it.
You could have written
except
all the
for
names
us.
and then written Echo, but that won't
We
make
would have
sense
picked
to
it
watch
apart anyway, but if it's our idea, it's okay. Hire us, Disney. Where would you rate it in terms of Disney shows?
I think this might be the worst.
No! Okay, I agree.
Again, I fucking ragged on everything else.
I agree.
But at least everything else maybe made me feel something. I just cared so little this whole time. And that's crazy. The other ones made me mad. That's a feeling. That's an emotion. But this one was just like, what?
It was. Do you know what this is? This is like feeling numb. This is the Homelander meme where he's in like the theater and he's just like, that was me this whole time. I was like,
It's not worth the drinking game. The title says, at least it made it a good drinking game. It was more drinking.
there was a whole episode
It was drinking
where
to get through it.
the rules.
You're spoiling
didn't-
now.
No, but the rules didn't even count, and you were like, "I'm kind of thirsty. My drink's full."
Yeah, like it wasn't even tropey at that point. It's boring. But
Just watch it if you're a
No,
Marvel
skip it.
diehard.
I don't. If you're watching this, you've already seen it. You don't give a shit. Let's be real.
The next video, hopefully, that you watch will be our spoiler review, and we'll talk about some of the stuff that we hated. Subscribe.